scaly goblins, yeah, you're gonna have to, if you actually see an actual goblin, you will have to roll a will check.
That kobold didn't have a tail and it was green. It was clearly a goblin wearing a helmet.
Except for the token actually said kobold.
I couldn't see that. We couldn't see the names.
Yes, I know.
Although it would be good to see other people's roles, because a lot of times I didn't know anything was going on.
Yeah, they have to fix that on their sheet. There's a tab that like says to GM.
Oh yeah, and they got to click public.
Yeah.
Alright.
So it's not really me, that's them.
Yeah, I thought that was so that the only person could see the sheet was the GM.
Nope.
That's what I thought it was.
Nope, that'll just be for rolls. Because, yeah, you guys can't see each other's sheets. You're supposed to say if you have things or not. Because you're allowed to lie and withhold information you know.
Oh yeah, well, from other characters.
Huh?
From other characters.
Yeah, so let's say I get you to roll.
Let's say Levitz, that we do the thing that
check on something like that, and you find out something, but only you find it out. Everybody else fails their perception or wisdom. I can type it to you, let you know, hey, this is what you find out, because you're the only one that will find out. And then you can choose to let your party members know. Exactly.
Like, so, if it's an ambush, then you'll probably want to go, hey guys, we're about to get ambushed. But if it's like, oh, you know, this vital thing that you care about, but you don't want anyone else touching, you can pretend you didn't. So, yeah.
Yep. Oh, that sounds about right. Yep. Alrighty. Well, I think it's only used two today.
Unless I think in theory they might show up. Others might show up later, but probably not. So.
Well, Ruby might be 2 hours late.
Oof, that's late.
Well, it's probably an hour and a half late or something like that, if she comes at all.
And Shadow will be, who knows how long, depending on how long that thing goes on.
Who knows with Shadow?
Exactly.
Yeah, pretty much.
But that's all right. We got two main players here. Two of the three main players.
Yeah. And the
two of the important people.
Crazy Goblin Hunter. Actually, I should just change that for yours. I just put Crazy Dwarf.
Well, basically, I've set up a backstory for it, but that basically, he's part of like a goblin hunting cult, and basically, you gotta go out and kill a certain amount of goblins before you're allowed to basically settle down, breed, have a family, and raise the next generation of goblin hunters. And basically, I've got to go out there and kill 1,000 goblins.
Fair enough.
And in doing so, I'll get basically, when I return back home, I'll get a harem and basically a noble title.
Does it have to be actual goblins, or
it's got to be goblins? I've got to collect goblin teeth. I've got to collect 1,000 right fangs of a goblin, and they can tell if it's not a goblin or not. It's analysed by magic when you return home. So if you lie, you get outed as a liar and you're fucked.
Okay.
But it can be any type of goblin, so goblin, gobblerina, hobgoblin, goblin champion, anything like that. They all count as one goblin. It doesn't matter whether it's a hobgoblin.
Child.
Yep, goblin child, doesn't matter as long as it's a goblin.
Lavis just goes on an Anakin rampage and he's like, I killed them all. The women, the children, even their dogs.
And those dogs had it coming. One of them pissed on my foot. Of course I had to go full Sith.
One of them pissed on my foot, so I had to commit genocide.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
Well, it makes sense.
we're I understand. Anyway, we're here. We're awake mostly.
Alrighty.
Yeah. I might be slightly tipsy. That's all.
What, in person
Don't
or
drink.
character?
Yes.
What he said.
Okay, yeah, it doesn't bother me. As long as you're having fun, that's the main point of this game, is to just have fun.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Okay, I'll bring you back to the
Okay. So what's our plan here, Sidron?
What do you mean?
We're missing 2 people. So, and we're currently stuck on a ship that is attached to this other thing.
You're currently attached to an asteroid that seems to have some kind of shielding around it and an atmosphere within it. And it is
Well,
piping out a
why
weird
don't-
signal.
We could try and investigate it.
Well, last time you successfully docked onto it, and your airlock attached to an airlock, like external port.
Yes. So, we can hop on and try and investigate it ourselves.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Lavitz will have scaled any encounters if it's some kind of murder simulator. Or we just, we just hop on, go around, and if it ends up being safe, then, that's great.
Yep.
So that's the plan?
Yeah. Sounds good enough for me.
Yep. And you can basically
Right
just
then.
say the other 2 players are still on the ship, hanging out with the captain.
Yes, but I would like them to get in their suits so that if this ends up being some kind of thing where the alien, weird hive mind aliens are here, then none of the brain fuckers get on and start wreaking havoc again.
Yep. Just make a note in the chat that you've put that in there, or put it in the Discord and just say that we're making sure that your characters actually have their suits on. You can,
The characters and the captain.
yeah. I still got to set up the captain's suit. But that's a problem for another time.
Yes.
Good story
Now.
for another time.
Hope is like the sun. It fucking burns you.
Hope is like the sun. If you chuck Superman in it, he'll just blast you even harder.
Oh, Lavitz, did you see that meme I posted a while back? That was like, corporate needs you to find the differences between this picture and this picture.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like that. I like that meme a lot.
By the way, what did you think of my one that I put in art and memes a bit before?
Yes.
I'm starting
I
to
think-
like Alexandra Cortez now if they keep coming out with pictures like this.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Raid Shadow Legends one. And honestly, I really liked the versions where it's just like a bunch of famous racists, and she looks at him and then goes racist. I like that one.
I didn't see that one.
I haven't posted it here, and
That's all right.
I can't remember where it is. So
I still like
Yeah,
the Captain
but-
Narwhal, the Extinguisher, and the Pedestrian. That is one of the best bloody things to come out of a terrorist bloody attack ever.
what about Bush did 9/11?
Nah,
Well,
7-Eleven was an
no,
inside job.
Nah, the Captain Narwhal one is freaking awesome. Dude's running around with a knife and explosive bomb, and the dude's just like, fuck this, grabs a narwhal tusk and starts stabbing the shit out of the dude. It's like, fuck yeah, that's the British thing to do.
I really like the Machine Spirit.mp4 thing that I posted.
Yeah.
I like that one too, where it's just like, yeah, it's great. Anyway, let's keep on topic.
Okay.
We're docked on the asteroid. I guess Sidron and I are going in to investigate it.
Yes.
I'll bring you to the map.
And
I finally found the wing of the. I finally found that wing again.
What
All
wing?
right, great. Now
Remember
let's
the
see.
wing that was on the this first map that we went on when you landed, and I had that
Yes.
wing to symbolize what the edge of the ship.
Yeah.
I couldn't find that purple wing again at all for quite a while, and yet I found it by accident like 3 days ago.
Oh, okay.
And I'm just like, yay!
Also, before we actually go on, I'm going to attempt and down a bottle of Ragnar for its buffs.
Okay, roll me a d20.
Come on,
Yes,
Drumper,
you get the
don't feel my ear
positive.
now.
You get
Yes.
the positives of Ragnar, which I think is plus the targeting
And dodge.
and dodge. Yes,
I'm putting my mask on.
your mask. What mask
Yes.
did you have?
Big.
I don't remember.
That was the enamel death mask.
I'm trying to remember because I remember Ruby had a mask. I don't remember you had a mask.
Well, no, when we took that big tooth out back, I crafted that into a mask.
Oh yeah, that's right. The enamel mask. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like an enamel death mask.
No problem. Alrighty, if you go to the left of the map, you'll see the purple wing, and you'll see a square poking out of the ash of what appears to be stone. That is the airlock, or the end of your airlock. And you see a peculiar door in front of you.
Alright.
And I'm just going to have to go back to a different map.
Alright, Russian girl, let's go.
Just give me 2 shakes of a rattlestick.
You're not Russian, are you?
His character
Ukrainian.
is Ukraine, Ian.
Yes, that's not Russian.
Yeah, that's close enough. Really, what's the difference? Kapushka heads and freaking you know, weird accents. Alrighty. You see an airlock, and it has abnormal writing on it. It looks roll us tech or communications, which is ever highest. Hello?
Sorry.
You're both muted.
Yeah, I do have one in communication. That's right. So that's a 14.
14, yep. And
I don't
Kamiko?
know why.
We'll just wait on Kamiko to roll.
Yeah, sorry for muting. I'm just eating very crunchy stuff, so I don't want to.
Yep, no,
Yeah.
that's fine. That's fine. I just thought I got disconnected. Just gotta wait on Kamiko. But I'll tell you what you see. You see an old language. It's closer to... It's similar to ancient Earth language. Closer to like, almost like Gothic.
Oh, okay.
Not Gothic.
Celtic?
Like, yeah, no, closer to like Elizabethan Gothic. No, not Elizabethan Gothic. Elizabethan Latin. Elizabethan Latin.
Oh, okay.
So it's written like Elizabethan, but it's in like Latin's like words.
Gotcha. Well, what does it say?
It says seal opposite airlock before opening.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll do that then.
All right.
Or I'll do that and let Kamiko know, or, sorry, Tekla.
All right. So you seal the airlock behind Tekla, and a green light flickers on.
Alright.
I'm just going to message Kamiko and ask where the hell he went.
Mm-hmm. I hate these dwarven spears.
Dwarven spears.
Spheres.
Ah. What are you doing?
Annoying little
You're playing a game or
butters.
something, are you?
Until Kamiko gets back, yeah. I've just been tabbing in and out of it.
All right.
But yes, I guess I can go ahead then if the green light's on, but where the heck's Tekla?
Actually, roll me a tech as well.
Okay, well, I don't have tech, but okay.
Okay.
Woo!
Okay. You're starting to get a radio transmission, and all of a sudden, the translator in your suit comes to life and recognizes it as a frontier language. Basically, it's a human language, but an old human language, possibly a variant or a changing, like one that has changed over time, with being isolated from a human colony. So its base level was probably initially English and Latin, but now it's actually evolved to something different. But your suit can actually auto-translate.
Okay, cool.
Now that's your personal suit, not your mech.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, and you hear lower your weapons, disengage your suits.
I would like to keep my weapons on me. Why do you want me to disengage my suit?
We don't know if we can trust you.
And I don't know if I can trust you. So kind of at an impasse here now, aren't we?
Well, the fact that we haven't shot your ship out of the sky yet, that is probably a good indicator of that we are not hostile to you yet.
Alright. We've just been kind of on edge. We've been battling this weird alien race as of late.
Yes, we call them the Destroyers.
Reapers! Sorry, I didn't say anything. If we're allowed to keep our minor weapons on us, then we will disengage our suits.
Let me ask the captain. It goes blank for a few seconds, and then you hear a very authoritative female voice come through the mic. She says, if you disengage, like unload them, you will be allowed to enter, but you must be out of your mech suits. And while on this station, you must submit to our authority.
As long as you don't try and rape or kill us, I think we'll be fine.
She says, trust us, we are not here to start a fight.
And neither am I. And I would be terrible at a fight. I'm kind of bleh. You sound cute, though.
Let's try and
Yes,
keep this professional.
Fine.
Okay, after a few minutes, some lights start flickering inside the chamber that you're in.
Yep.
They flicker red for a bit, and have you disengaged from your mech?
Mm-hmm.
I'll assume that Kimiko has as well.
I will leave my mech. Where is...
I think I
Kimiko?
just got a message from Kimiko.
Oh, okay.
Currently forcibly engaged in a conversation with my mother.
Ah, that's always fun.
I'm just gonna... And I just sent him a whip gif. Actually,
Oh, that's terrible.
it's a cool
I mean,
gif. I'm actually going to put it in the Space Dragoons.
Okay.
Just sheerly because it looks cool.
I mean, if most of the times when my mom calls, I do have to answer her, but
So do I. My mum
I get it.
occasionally shows up my place for a few minutes and I have to stop the game and have a chat with her. But
Yeah.
she lives really close, so, it's literally like a 5-minute walk. So it's just like, hey, how are you? Just checking to make sure you're not dead.
fair enough. Hey, and I mean, come on, if you don't love your mom, then you're just kind of an asshole.
Oh no, you're a horrible person if you don't like him. If you don't love your mum.
Yeah.
Or your dad. Or your bitch of a sister.
Yeah. Well, actually, my sisters. Actually, we've always gotten along.
Well, when I was in primary school, my sister and I got along really well. Then when she got to high school, she became a complete bitch. And then she moved away for quite a few years, and we got along really well when we didn't see each other. Like, we'd talk on the phone once every couple of months, and we'd get along really well. Then, now she's back, she's had a kid, she's calmed down a lot, she's no longer as much of a bitch as what she used to be. And yeah, we get along quite well now, provided we don't spend too much time together. The moment we start talking, and she's the kind of person that if you say one thing that proves her wrong, she'll throw a fucking hissy fit, and she'll be a complete crazy bitch for quite a while towards you.
Oh, that's terrible.
Because I think it's because she got it in her head that she was always the smart one. So if you prove her wrong, I think it's like a hit to her ego or something like that.
Oof.
But there's a lot of people like that. But provided you just don't engage with stuff like that, you're fine.
Yep.
Alrighty. Eventually, the hallway opens. Roll me a detect. So just a D20 plus targeting.
Which is now like a +5.
I think it's a +5 for you, isn't it? +4 from targeting, +1 from the Ragnar.
Plus the one. Yeah, so. Alright. That's a 14.
That's a 15, isn't it?
Oh, 15. Yeah, +5.
Okay, the door opens, and you see two people there. They're both holding guns trained at you.
Okay.
They say, unload your sidearms, which just basically means just eject, like take out the power cell.
Take out the clip, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Oh yeah, I still have that sword I got from that guy. That guy that was an asshole that I tried to pick a fight on first.
Oh yeah, I've got his name here.
He was an asshole. he doesn't
Tetsuko.
deserve him. Yeah.
He was going to be so much more in this campaign.
I'm
And,
sorry.
and you're like, I'm going to pick a fight with him. And then Kamiko's like, I'm going to murder him. And she's like, fair enough.
Oh, fine.
Like, fair enough. And it's like, all right, let's throw away everything we've found here, and open up a fucking airlock into space.
So you know how that happened with this? That rat and the 4 dwarves were supposed to be a lot more than murder. But no, Fenico decides I am a tiny bird that's gonna kill a massive rat.
Well, I thought
And
automatically, I'm like, okay, this rat is being contained and fucked with. If we get rid of the people doing it, either the rat will disappear or the rat will shrink down and be easier to kill. If it's an enemy. And then I'm just like, bearded goblins, fucking murder it.
but then okay, so Mildred is like, I'm gonna be nice to this rat and leave it free, and I'm like, oh, okay, good, something at least. Nope. Fenico's just like, nope, tiny bird.
That's one thing. I've actually got to have a thing with Meldrin in character, because he tried to heal one of the heretic dwarfs or bit.
Yes.
So I'm going to have my character's going to have quite a few words with him about it.
Yes, you did notice that, so...
Yeah.
And yes, I will eventually actually have you two talk, but that was in the heat of the battle, and then I was getting pretty tired.
Yeah, I could hear that.
Well, it doesn't help, like I had 4 or 5 shots of gin, so...
But it's kind of hard to weave a really good narrative when you're pissed.
Me?
Yeah, well, it is for me anyway.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Yeah, can be. I mean, okay, if I'm gonna be honest, because you know how, like, you would hit somebody and, like, something would be cut, or something starts bleeding, or something falls off, or that kind of thing, or somebody's decapitated, or in a mush, or something like that. Yeah, I kept rolling d8s to see actually what the outcome ended up being. Every death.
Yeah, that's what I do a lot of the times as well. Whenever someone does something, I come up in my head about 3 or 4 possibilities, and then I roll a d20 to decide. Just so that, I'm not going to railroad someone. I'm going to go like, okay, here's one extreme to the next extreme, and I'll roll to see on the scale of the 2 extremes it'll be, and then I'll have like 3 to 4 variants in the middle of it. That's why crazy shit occasionally would happen when Kamiko did Kamiko things.
Kamiko things, I love that. But it is very true.
Alright, actually I'm going to reveal a little bit more of this hallway, because you rolled pretty well when you're targeting. A 15 is pretty good. Alright, as you eject your power cells, I'm assuming you just place it back into your pocket. Yep. They lower their weapons, not completely, but they kind of keep them at the ready, but not pointed at you. They've kind of dropped them down to a bit more to like the hip thing, so they can pull it up and fire pretty quickly if they wanted to. But they're kind of showing, okay, we're not going to fix our weapon straight on you. Oh, by the way, your max HP in your suit is 26, right? While you're in out of your mech, your HP is halved.
Oh, okay, so I'm at 14 then.
Yes. And Kamiko should be at 11, I think. No. Half of 28, that would be 14. And you had a personal shield that gave you 1 shield, didn't it?
Yep.
Okay, let me just set that 1 of 1. Because it's always good to have this stuff set. And what the hell's going on?
Oh, that is a cool whip.
I thought so. Okay, there we go. And I'm guessing that's Kamiko's drone. And that will be back there.
I think so.
I guess he's about to jump back in. But yeah, that's kind of like what I want my whip to be for my succubus character.
Oh, okay. Yeah, whips are actually pretty heavy, just for the fact they are, I think it's a 10 or 15 foot range.
Yeah, if it's a 15-foot whip, yeah, it's
it's
I don't think
pretty heavy.
I don't think that'd be 5 pounds though.
£3, isn't it?
I'm not sure. I thought it was £5 on the sheet, but I'm gonna have to look into it. But basically, my character's got claw weapons, but that's only if she's in fiend form. And basically, my character doesn't show her fiend form at all. Even if people know that she's a succubus, she doesn't go into fiend form. Alright, welcome back. You have been...
Sorry about that.
Yep. Basically, what happened is Sid read the script on the walls, and it's in ancient Earth languages. What were the ones again? I'm blanking on the names again. Yeah, Old Latin and Elizabethan.
Yeah.
And Sid's auto translator in her personal suit flickered on, and she can actually understand what the people are saying.
Okay.
You'll have to roll us a D20 plus communications to see if you can understand what they're saying.
11.
Okay. It's going to come through basically on text for you.
Oh, so Nico has to read.
So some of the nuance of their speech might be a bit different. And you've been ordered to exit your suits, and you can carry... Sid's worked up that you can carry your sidearm in, but you must have... It must be unloaded.
What about my sword?
Nah, no sword.
Alright.
Because that thing is massive.
In that case, I will...
Okay, then. What about my personal sword? Because that one was an actual personal sword from an enemy.
Yeah, no. Well, you can choose. Either you can have your sword, or you can have your pistol.
I will take the sword.
Alrighty.
I will make a point of unloading the gun.
Yep. You can keep the alloy and the power cell from it, but the thing is, it can't be loaded.
Yeah.
And basically, they say unload it and holster it, and keep your arms where we can see them.
Yep.
All right. Can I do some fancy spinny stuff with my pistol before I put it back in?
All right. Roll us a D20 plus. Let me just look at the sheets to see what it'd be. Yeah, I'll just say D20 plus tech skill. No, maneuverability.
Okay, so just a 2. All right, there we go. 14.
Yep. You do like a cowboy spin of the finger and reholster it, and then you put the clip in the opposite side pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right, now take me to this cute-sounding captain of yours.
One of the guys kind of gives you an upturned kind of like fair enough, kind of like a squinty fair enough, and he's just like, okay, follow.
Okay.
He points to this guy, and this guy's like turns around and he's like, okay, follow me, and he starts walking down the hallway.
I'm taking the lead on this one.
Ah, fine.
Fair enough.
You are drunk.
Yes.
I'm not sure how well my suit can translate my speech to theirs, but I'm fairly certain I might be a better face given the current situation where you're drunk and also your superiority complex.
Hey. I got us this far.
Okay,
you got us this far, but... Yeah.
Okay, Sid, start following.
Yeah.
I don't fully trust.
Okay. And a guy with a large rifle is walking behind you, and you're following a guy that has some kind of what appears to be some kind of rapid firing. It doesn't appear to be energy based though. Like a rapid firing gun that doesn't appear to be energy based. You think it's more old tech style, but is gone like as if the old tech has gone in a different way. So as opposed to shooting plasma and laser beams, this seems to be more like what are those Gauss cannon, like Gauss kind of style.
Ghost cannons?
Yeah, like where
Yes,
it's like
ghost cannons,
it
coil
fires
guns,
solid
those
projectiles accelerated. Like you recognize that kind of tech, but it's somewhat alien to you. But it does appear to be similar. Like you can see like the magnetic tunneling on the guns and stuff like that.
Now, how good is my suit at actually translating my speech to theirs?
It's got like a freaking 3-second delay where it kind of analyzes it and produces a text on your inner visor.
Okay, but I mean, like, if I were to speak, and how would it translate to them?
You'd speak, and then about a second later, it'd go through your external translator and pump it out in a reasonably well translated format. It won't be perfect. Sid's will be 1-to-1, but yours is delayed and somewhat fragmented.
Okay,
See,
well, I'm going to...
should be taking this.
Think of it kind of like you'd be speaking delayed, broken English to them.
Okay, well,
Like you'd be
While we're-
like, "How
while
are
we're
you on
walking-
this fine day?" And it'd be like, "Hello, how's you?"
yeah,
You know, and that would be kind of like the equivalency of the translation due to it being a 14 as opposed to a nat 20.
Actually,
can I try and modify my translator to be more effective, or is that a...
Not at the moment. You'll have to get more samples of their language, or you'd have to hook up your suit to Sid's and get it to kind of, in a sense, update your language translator.
Can we do that?
Not at the moment. Well, you can try, but suspicious activity might cop a Gauss round to your face.
Fair enough.
Can I?
In that case, I'm just going to slowly and very carefully make sure to take my mask off, or at the very least, put it up.
If you
So they
take your
can see
mask
my
off, you
face.
won't get a translation. But your face, like
No,
your
no,
mask
no.
is opaque.
Blavitz, I mean,
Your mask is opaque.
Blavitz, the enamel one.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Yeah,
No problem.
I'm not
Can
talking
I-
about my helmet.
Yep, Sid.
Can I strike up a conversation with the guy behind us?
You can try.
I want to just gotta ask him what the captain's like.
He's like, you'll find out soon enough.
That bad?
Word of warning, just don't piss her off.
Oh,
I think I annoyed her already, but okay, I'll try that.
Alrighty. Okay.
sorry. Okay, yeah, there we go.
I guess he doesn't want to talk.
He's like, if you want to talk, we can probably talk later, but at the moment, orders are orders.
I gotcha. Okay.
Just keep your hands where we can see them.
All right.
I'm just going to look back and go. I recommend avoiding conversation in case you say something that will piss off the locals.
But I can understand them.
Oh, by the way, this door
Just be-
to the airlock has closed now.
The ability to speak does not make you intelligent.
No, but it's just one bottle.
Just one.
Yes.
Famous last words.
Shut up.
I put this firecracker in my ass. Dude, you're drunk. It was just one bottle.
Okay, this door opens up after a little bit of coaching. The guy actually enters a code and it doesn't, like, it accepts a code but the door doesn't open. So he punches the code box and eventually it flickers and the door opens.
Oh, okay.
Can I ask if he requires technical assistance?
He says no. Piece of shit just gets stuck every now and again.
How old is this place?
Extremely new, actually.
Huh. Because this language isn't common.
So, hypothetical. A while back, there was a book And basically it's about these. Way back when, there was an old sci-fi book, and basically the whole premise is you've got these different alien species, right, like outside of the solar system, and they don't fight wars. They have to, because of some form of treaty, they have to abduct species that are not intergalactic species anymore. Like in the more primitive species, they have to abduct them and then make them fight each other to settle disputes as opposed to wars. And so, way back in the medieval period, a bunch of Englishmen get abducted, and then they go and get put into fighting.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually they escape and then create their own intergalactic space nation. And then at the very end of the book, far in the future, humanity is in the middle of a war with a bunch of these species, because they don't want humanity to become sentient, so they can keep on using humans as fighters. And then out of the blue, this massive fleet of ships comes, and it turns out it's the descendants of the Englishmen from way back when. It's really neat.
Oh,
Cool.
Huh.
All right. The guy's lunch. Welcome, Shadow. The guy opens up a new door, and you guys. Oops, sorry. Dragged wrong guy.
Yeah, no, there was a massive fire, fucking near us, like south of the airport a little bit, or at the airport. I don't know which.
Okay.
Yeah, so kind of freaking out. Was kind of freaking out about that. Called the fire department. Took them a while to get here. I didn't even see it on the way up, and I'm being called. Hold on.
Okay, the guys enter another hallway. Guy with the assault rifle. He goes down here. Yep, and you appear to be heading down another hallway. This hallway seems quite long.
I hate to do this to you, Lovitz, but duty calls. I need to put Mom into bed because apparently.
No, that's fine. Okay.
I'm going to turn to Sidron or one of the guys and just ask if there's a place where I can get my translations updated from my buddy.
He says your suit will, like aids on your suit says we'll be updating it periodically. The more you hear their voice, the better it will get. Just give it time. Your suit's a bit out of date.
I shrug and go, okay.
Okay. Eventually comes thing, and he's like, okay, the captain's just in here.
Okay.
Show some respect. He turns around.
Captain.
And the door opens. And let me just reveal the area.
Oh, that
All
one's
right.
a lot stronger.
So we need to go inside, don't we?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay. And she says, have a seat.
Alright. I'm just gonna sit down excitedly.
And she says,
I am going to cautiously sit down.
okay, he goes there. Goes there.
I feel like Kamiko is gonna be fed up with me after this.
Just know that if you start doing something stupid, I will slap you.
Kamiko, how many times have you done something stupid?
I know. I never said
You're
I
like
wasn't a
you're like the
hypocrite,
poster
Lance.
boy of stupid.
No, that's still somebody else we know.
Yeah, anyway. Yeah, I think Sidron might have had a bit too much drink, but okay. Well, all right.
Huh? What you talking about?
All right, how do you want to play this?
I am just bouncing in my chair. She told
Okay.
us to take a seat. I'm waiting for her to speak.
Okay. So I'm just setting something. Okay,
Yeah,
she's like, why have you come here? We weren't expecting, well, use.
I think this might be me, given I'm the one who got us here.
Well, yes, but we're chasing aliens.
She says the prophecy had not spoken of organic saviors.
Prophecy.
Why are you here?
Uh oh.
Okay, I'm going to use. I've got this one. I think I'm going to be using my female robot voice instead of my regular one.
Fair enough.
Our purpose here is to rescue some of our comrades while exterminating any aliens who would oppose us.
Yeah. What he said.
She says that still doesn't explain why you're here. That explains why you're in the
This.
area, not why you're here.
Because we heard signals and thought we'd come and see what's going on.
You found the concept of a space station that was shaped like an asteroid more than a little bit suspicious and went to investigate.
She says this isn't a space station. This is a life pod.
A life pod? The heck's that?
It was designed to save the last of our planet before the destroyers could finish us off. When the planet broke apart, we drifted from the planet.
The destroyer. Oh, you mean the big thing that we saw? Okay.
Yeah, the big scary alien thingies.
Yes, the
Right.
prophesized destroyers. And our saviors, the synthetics. Or the robot people, as we also know them.
Is now a good time for me to do some wiggly tech arm stuff? Or should I save that?
That is up to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait.
Well, we're not synthetic, but big aliens need to kill.
She says, did you bring an army? A super weapon?
We have illegal techs on our ship.
We have brought along with us some weapons which have proven very efficient in destroying aliens.
Very.
If you were from the planet below, you might have heard rumor of a large explosion decimating approximately 20 kilometers of aliens. That was us.
Well, it was you. You decided to kill that planet.
I look at Paddle Brother Sydney and go, who, regardless of who was the one who did it, the point is that our crew is responsible.
Well, fine.
I will. If you want to put all of that on myself, then so be it. But
Well, I said
I'm
we could
back.
just kill the invasive critters.
Like,
Yes.
we have not
And
had
we-
communications with the other humans, humans of old, for many, many millennia. Probably close to 1,000 years it's been since we've actually had contact with the wider galaxy.
And but so how long have you been here?
Well,
Hasn't
according to our ancient legends, we were here our species settled this planet shortly before a massive warp anomaly that severed our connection to our original planet. But much of that history has been lost to us.
But so, how old are you then?
She's like, well, in our planet's cycle, I would be classed as 50 years old, but I'm only but by your status, and she actually brings up a small hologram, and it's actually a hologram of each of you. And she says, I'm probably only about 20% older than you at the moment.
I'm
Me or
Welcome back.
Tekla?
Who's the oldest?
Yes. Sydney.
I am.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I'm the youngest
she's
on the
sitting,
ship.
She's sitting at about 2932 by Earth years.
Ooh. Okay.
Hmm.
So.
Interesting. So,
Mhm.
all right. You want to continue, or should I?
Hey, go ahead. I'm good.
I don't know.
So-
where
You have mentioned previously a prophecy. From where did this prophecy come?
It came from the Great Sages. Sadly, we've lost contact with them since the explosion. They were supposed to be on another lifeboat, but we haven't been able to connect to any of the other lifeboats. We assume them lost, but we hope for them not to be.
We could go find them.
We could
Yeah.
attempt to find them. Going to find them guarantees it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. If we say that we can, in theory we can, but whether or not we will be able to is another matter entirely.
By the way, I'm just going to go for a quick piss. You want to catch Shadow up?
Okay. We,
We're on the ship.
Going on-
It's full of people.
yeah.
Can you let Sid speak instead of fucking interrupting her every single goddamn time, Kimiko, like you were me when I was trying to ask how the hell to come in?
Well, you have to come in, and you have to lock the air vault behind you first before you can actually open the other air vault.
I was
And then
more
you
of
have to-
talking to Lavitz about how to drag the different tokens on.
Oh, he'll drag the other token on. Just drag
that's
your
what I
mech
was-
on, and then say you disband your mech, because you have to. You have to take the power cell out of your weapon, like your sidearm, and then
Okay.
you'll be able to enter. And
there's
somebody
not
will
enough-
probably bring you there.
There's not enough room for me on there, so I'm just gonna say go here.
Okay. Yeah, just let Lavitz know you do all the stuff, and probably somebody will stop by, or
Okay.
contact us, and Captain will send somebody.
Okay.
Hi,
What is the situation? Hi. How are you feeling?
I'm good.
Why are you good?
Huh? What you mean?
Just curious. That's all.
Well, I downed a bottle of Ragnar before I jumped out of my suit. So,
I'm back.
Like
Welcome
real
back.
life or
no, because
Yes.
I tried finding Ragnar beer, which it is sold, but nothing is available to be shipped here. But it is an actual Pilsner beer, so it is actual alcohol. But no, I'm just having gin and tonics.
I think there's
got it.
not a Swedish, Norwegian alcohol called Ragnar as well.
Yeah, it's
a,
yeah, it's a Viking kind of.
Viking
Alcohol.
themed drink.
Yeah.
Hey, Levitz, I'm going to go ahead and did what they did, remove the power cell, get it out of my mech, stuff like that.
Alright, so, I can basically say that you followed along as well, if you like.
Yeah, that works perfectly. Kind of jumped at Kamiko because I got annoyed at him.
Okay, let me just...
Because I was trying to sit there and ask you, how do I come in? And kept being interrupted.
You gotta speak up, mate.
I kept trying to, but I know it's hard to hear and annoys you when multiple people are trying to speak at once. Which is why I sent that message in Roll20.
Oh, sorry, I haven't been looking at that. I've been doing a bunch of stuff in the background, and the auto scroll just isn't working.
Yeah, fair enough. So, what has been going on, Sydney?
Huh?
You never explained what was going on.
Oh, yeah, we're just talking to the captain. She's asking why we're there. All that kind
Captain
of
of
stuff.
what?
Of this ship.
Yeah.
What ship?
Remember when
one
you
we're
docked with
currently
the
on.
asteroid last session?
Yeah, I
That
remember
one.
the asteroid.
You've
Wait,
docked
that's
with
a
it,
ship?
and now you're
It's a
on the
ship.
space station, basically. Which they call a
thought it-
lifeboat. Or a life pod.
Oh, so I was right.
About what?
Okay. About it being essentially sort of... Because remember I said last session, it's shielded, and that destroyer was here, so it's probably like a life rafter, or, fucking... It probably has survivors in it.
Okay,
And that's what I said last session.
What's half of 27?
I've-
Because your suit, like your life, your HP is half of what it is, rounded down, compared to your suit.
Give me a second. Hold
So
on.
it'd be a 13.
13?
It'd be 13.
Okay, yep. So 13. Oops. Not 132. Levitz. There we go.
See, you do the exact same shit that I did back in Netherworld.
Well, this new keyboard, when I go to click buttons, I end up hitting two at the same time.
I remember back in Netherworlds, I accidentally gave myself 1,000 and fucking HP on accident. Because I was trying, because we kept trying to sit there and fucking add the HP and it just would not work. Remember, Levitz?
Yeah.
Because it kept saying 20 plus and did not. We would sit there and try and make it plus this to add to the total number, and it just would not work.
Yeah.
Like you tried it too, and you're like, "Oh no, this isn't working."
Oh yeah, by the way, on Sid's game, you might want to fix your token up. It is very pixelated.
Yeah.
What token?
In Sid's game, in Bird D&D.
I never made a token.
Oh, well, the pic that you've got for your character, that's been dragged on, and it's actually, like, really, really pixely. Like, it's almost noticeable as your, commissioned avatar.
Well, yeah, that's because I just dragged that on there, and by the time that I actually had, once everyone had gotten on and we were beginning to play, I was passed the fuck out in my chair, because I had been exhausted all day. Because I had to take care of Mom all day. Because
Yeah, I'm just saying that next time you jump in there, you might want to get like a more
I'm probably
like a
going
higher
to make the token
graphic pick. So yeah, just because that's when I saw you on there. I'm like, oh, I thought I'd tell you that, and then I realized you weren't there.
Yeah, no, I was just passed the fuck out.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know how high resolution that is, because it's 1.80 megabytes already. And, oh, it's 2,550 by 3,300, so it's plenty high resolution as is. I just need to token it.
Yep. Either way, all right. So, where
I'll
was
toss you
I?
that token when it's done, Sid.
The sages.
Okay.
Yep. She says the sages are not fortune tellers. They are seers. They can peer into the future and see what is going to happen.
You know what? I'm gonna be special and make a little neat border. So why not?
I see. So then they did not predict our arrival.
No, they predicted the arrival of the saviors of our people.
Huh.
And these saviors are synthetics.
The saviors are synthetics, yes.
Okay, now would be a Sidron. Do you want to tell her?
Why, that the destructors and the saviors are both synthetics?
No, that the synthetics went rogue.
Ah, right, those synthetics. Yeah, their AI was hacked.
But the big question is it the same synthetics?
Yes, that is
I
a good
guess
question.
so. Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
Tossing you it now, Sid.
Well, you just have to upload it to your Roll20 character. That's it.
I guess we should clarify what she means by synthetics. So,
Be a bad idea.
yeah.
Aw, jeez.
Given what we know, yeah.
Well,
So-
what did it describe the synthetics?
Not overly. All we know is that they're our saviors, our destined saviors that will destroy the destroyers.
Now,
No.
I actually know exactly how we can bring this about, but the problem would be smuggling a bunch of synthetics across. Anyway, that's a different thing that I was.
Maybe you should tell
Wait.
her.
Wait. No, wait. We're in mechs. That kind of makes us synthetic. Because we are biological, but we have to use mechs, which are robotic.
Synthetic. Yeah, and to take it further, I'm like 30% robot at this point.
Yeah, so I mean, if we count that the mechs are synthetics, we might actually be the saviors. I don't know, maybe. It's just a point I'm making. That's all.
Yes, that's a hypothetical.
Ah, exactly that.
I spilled my cup of tea.
Wait, a cup of tea?
Cup of tea.
You're not British.
I am
No.
Australian, and tea is a big part of Australian heritage as well.
Like
Yeah.
just like
Okay.
prison jumpsuits and koalas.
Anyway, I'm going to look at her and ask what the situation in the galaxy was 1,000 years ago, back when they first lost contact.
She says, sadly, that is relegated to history that I am not aware of. My expertise is military command and cryogenics.
Okay.
Okay.
Sadly,
so,
the sage that we know was injured in our exodus from the planet, let's just say. Which is
Dang
a
it.
tactful way of saying when our planet exploded, he was injured.
Oh no. Wait, is he still alive though?
He is currently still alive, but he is currently comatose. Dr.
how
Merrill
many
has been
medical
trying.
supplies?
Dr.
do
Merrill
you
has been
have?
trying quite a lot, but sadly, there is nothing we can do until he regains consciousness on his own.
Oh. Well, at
Okay.
least he's stable.
Whose mic is cutting in and out?
No idea.
Shadow, your mic is, I think, is loose.
Yeah, I think something's going on just in general, cause with my mic, cause
It sounds like
Oh,
a
I
freight
feel I
cord
know
or it's
what
not
it
plugged
is.
in properly because it's like the whole time.
yeah, I think it's because there's a massive TV right next to it at the moment.
Okay.
Give me
Yeah.
one
So what I'm
second.
going to what I'm going to say then is we're unsure.
better?
Yes.
Yes. We're unsure of
Yeah.
exactly what you mean by synthetics, but the creatures we refer to as synthetics went rogue years ago and have been fighting an unceasing war against the
Everything.
galactic government.
Yeah.
Yes.
She says, no, the synthetics that we see and that our sages have foretold are the saviors of the galaxy, the ones that will protect all of the humanities and all the sentient races.
Yeah, no, these ones are killing all the sentient races. They are.
Well, therefore, they wouldn't be the
murder
ones
hordes.
that we have foretold in our prophecy.
If I may interject here, did they say specifically to keep you alive? Because in the sort of twisted religious way, in the past, people have said that they would save people by killing them to move them on to their next life, so to speak.
Like Valhalla.
To counter that, I would say that given that what we've heard is that they are protecting the sentient life, killing them is kind of antithetical to protection.
Yeah.
Not to mention, out of character, do you really want your first action of diplomacy to basically call their entire religion bullshit?
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
not a religion.
see-
I'm sorry.
This is a religion.
It is.
Oh, I thought it was just fucking some person.
Yeah, no, this is
No,
this,
no, they believe in prophecy.
yes, this is a messianic religion,
Yeah.
basically with the synthetics.
That's like saying,
So-
Jesus,
Trust it,
yes,
trust it.
Jesus will return, but Jesus isn't real and it's just going to be a demon that's going to butt fuck you out of existence.
Yeah, so if you're saying that in game, then that's my response, because I really want to be on
not.
good terms with the people who have guns to our heads.
No, I'm not going to say that out loud. That was more of out of character-wise anyway, because my character would have never learned that anyway.
Uh-huh. Anyway.
How would my character
Okay.
know that knowledge without prior reading to it?
True.
Yeah, anyway.
So it couldn't be in character without being meta.
Well, you're assuming you weren't in a religion, because religions are still... So,
Yeah, religion is still a thing. Does not mean my character is religious. I would know that my character is religious or not. Would I not?
yeah, but just because
Would
you're
it
religious
not
or not
be-
doesn't mean you don't have prior knowledge of it. Like, I don't really know much about Judaism, but I have a general idea of what happens in it.
Okay, but I'm operating under the assumption of Lavitz says if it isn't a thing already, it's not a thing. So if I did not read about it, I do not have no knowledge about it necessarily. That is the thing that Lavitz operates off of. And religions like that aren't common knowledge, so there's no way I would know about it. Operating under Lavitz's rules.
Uh,
Am I incorrect in assuming those were your specific rules, Lavitz?
Generally, I'm against metagaming, like that, but I've never said that you can't take some information, but generally it's just not over the top.
In that instance, it would be over-the-top meta information.
Probably.
My point stands, then.
Well, how would you phrase it then? How's your character going to phrase it?
Oh, my character wouldn't say it. That was me bringing up a point out of character.
Oh, okay then. Well, when you
That's the
when
point
you
I
got to
was
bring
trying to
something up out of character, just say like out of character and then state it, because otherwise I'm going to assume that it's in character.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Right, right.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
What other prophecies are there, given that apparently our arrival was not foretold?
She says, "Well, that is the sage's purview. That's not my department. My department is to keep everybody on this safe and healthy."
Yeah.
We might have a mutual goal then.
Yeah.
All right. Please explain.
Well, currently, you want to, you wish for the eradication of the aliens. And we want to rescue our comrades given that we were sent here to do that, and we want to also kill aliens, as many as possible, before we leave. So potentially we can help you out.
She says,
We
our
might-
scanners have indicated that the destroyers have mostly left the system at this point.
Yeah, because of us. We win.
No, Sidron. We still haven't retrieved our comrades. We don't know where the ship is, or we might. I'm not fully 100% of that, but
Well, we're trying to find them, but they're
Yes.
running because of us, so that's a win.
you're assuming that they're leaving because of us. I doubt that.
Eh.
I think they'll be back.
Well, the Great Destroyer, I think there's a picture of the Great Destroyer that I posted back in
Yes.
Space
Yeah.
Dragoon.
That's how I
Good.
recalled that this was the
Yeah.
planet.
But
The Great Destroyer
what we could
is
do-
this thing, and I'll repost it.
so theoretically, what we could try to do is help them find their other life pods, and maybe see if we can get a bit of a favor back.
Wait, what?
Perhaps some. I'm not fully certain what they. That would depend on what they have.
Well, we can find their friends. It'd be good.
They're like, how do you intend to find our other life pods?
The same way we
Wow.
found you.
Wouldn't it be a almost same
Out of character wise,
signature?
didn't we find them by dumb fucking luck?
Yes.
Oh. Yeah, but
So we're essentially saying that we're going to go. What the fuck is that beeping? I keep hearing beeping. It's coming from you, Sydney.
Are you scrolling at all? Because I found that if you've got headphones on and you scroll, a lot of times Roll20 and a couple of other things, you actually get like a grrr, grrr sound in the background of your headphones.
No, I'm not scrolling on anything.
I'm not scrolling.
You hear it from Sydney's thing, right?
Nah.
Nope.
I got Sid cranked up to maximum and everybody else at like 70%. And I can still barely hear Sid.
Yeah, I'm not hearing anything.
Weird. It seems to be
But-
only when I'm talking. What the fuck?
That sounds like from
that
you
is weird. Yeah.
But yeah,
That-
so
We could figure out like same signatures of
Oh, I figured out what it was.
the ships are. Could we not?
It's TeamSpeak.
yeah, so if it functions similarly to so if you can figure out some form of frequency that this ship puts out, then we can try and
Yeah,
find it
yeah.
elsewhere in the field. I don't imagine that these are very much powered, as it were, in terms of mobility. So
I figured out what it was, Lavitz.
Yeah, you said TeamSpeak.
Yeah, apparently they have a feature where if you're talking while muted in a Discord or a chat, the server, it'll beep at you to remind you, oh hey, you're muted.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, weird. Okay.
She says, well, we've got the strongest communications relay among all the others, and we could only sense you once you got within around 100 meters of our asteroid.
Well, we have a good sensor, like really good.
She's like, well, you're
120.
welcome to go into the asteroid field and try and connect our relays to them.
I don't see why not. We would just need your signature, no?
It's like we can give you 5 relays that you could use to basically boost, make point-to-point communications if you manage to find more of our life pods.
Well, I mean, that's an idea.
She says, but who knows how far they were scattered in the explosion.
Yeah, that's the real question.
It was just sheer luck that we're still within the gravity of the sun, which has actually kept our solar arrays actually running, which has managed to keep us alive.
I want to help the pretty lady.
Maybe we can find some different alternative power sources in addition to your solar arrays.
She's like, you're welcome to try. I'll have... who was it? Sorry, I gotta check.
How much room do you guys have on this asteroid free?
Not enough for only enough for 6 conscious individuals.
Oh.
So maybe not enough for a bioreactor.
What would they put in the bioreactor?
Anything biological that could include fecal matter.
Well, that was more of a rhetorical question regarding their current situation. I'd imagine they don't really have much supply. So
We wouldn't know.
Oh, we can find out.
Yeah, you can always just ask.
Uh-huh.
I thought that was what I was doing because that was in character.
Well, you're kind of stating it more like a question to the group, like you were spitballing.
Would you guys have anything that you could put into the bioreactor?
She says no. Biomaterial is somewhat limited on this station.
So more than likely you'd need an outright nuclear reactor or fusion reactor with a few cells, since those last for a long time depending on your energy needs.
We currently have solar arrays powering up our shield and our cryogenics.
So, but, okay. You're right by a sun. Is there no way to store the energy from the sun?
It is stored, yes. We store as much as we possibly can.
So
But even so, we're on an
it's
asteroid. Space is somewhat limited.
I was gonna say it's more of a matter of how much you can store, not what you can store. It's unfortunate.
yeah, depending on how much space they actually have devoted to power banks, is that kind of limits what they can do.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, in that case,
She says, if any of you have technical expertise, I can allow one of you to accompany Alistair, and he will lead you to our power reactor.
that's my
Tekla's
job.
really good at it.
I just nod.
She says also, if any of you have medical training, that and you might be able to assist with second in command Baron. Anything that you could possibly do would be appreciated.
Our
Medical
medics
stuff is
kinda... Yeah,
tech,
our
isn't
medics not really on the ship or available right now.
Is medical is medical roles tech?
Yes.
In that case, I am also the best at that here.
Uh-huh.
She says, well, what do you know? Someone of multiple skills. Fairly rare to see. People normally master one skill and kind of stick with that.
She's a good master of all skills, I guess.
I just respond that it was required in my training as a child to learn many things so that it was, if needed, I could survive alone.
Oh.
Jack of all
First time
trades,
period of
but
time.
master of none, but always times better than a master of one.
I'm just a ruthless assassin.
Nah, you're not that ruthless.
And when
adorable.
you say that, the two kind of raise their arms, their weapons a little bit more and become a little bit more focused on you, Sid.
Oof. Whoops. But I don't kill people unless they deserve it. I
Or unless
swear.
you get paid to do it.
Commander
Okay,
Catherine puts
okay,
her hand
but-
on her pistol.
Damn it.
Relax. Trust me. She's not in any sort of state to be able to do anything like that.
I actually would contest
It's
that.
not
She's
true.
yeah, she just drank a bunch of alcohol and she got all the bonuses from it.
Uh-huh.
One off getting
So-
friggin' a super bonus from it too. She rolled a 19.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah, so she's got really pretty big. Yeah, it's good job.
And you
yeah,
were giving me shit for ruining a fucking diplomacy situation earlier. These people are clearly on edge, and you were just adding fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
Okay, eventually she says, okay, Bird and Equine, you may enter into this room, and she points to her left, which is your right. And she says, you two can stay in there. We'll have your tech specialist have a look at our reactor.
That's totally a holding cell, isn't it?
She says, no, it's just a standard meeting room.
Uh-huh. Right. Alright, I'll go.
Alright,
Look,
I'm
if
gonna.
she wanted to kill us, she would have already. And if we wanted to kill her, well, we probably wouldn't succeed anyway.
I disagree.
Yeah,
With
well,
regards
nobody
to
asked
that.
for your opinion.
Yeah, well, I'm the one who holds the keys to bombs, so
Yeah, which means you're probably the most likeliest threat.
yes, but the bombs are currently on our ship.
Uh-huh.
Okay, a door opens, and you see a woman in a lab coat.
Oh, sorry about that, miss. I'll get out of your way.
Ooh. A lot of pretty girls here.
She says, yes, I'm
stay
medical
tuned.
specialist Meryl. Please enter the room, take a seat, have something to eat while the commander does her thing.
Now, I have a question.
Yes.
I left my repair drone back in the airlock. Is it possible for me to retrieve it?
She says, if it has weapons on it, no.
It does not have weaponry. It only has a metric fuck ton of repair materials.
She says,
And also welder.
she says, we'll keep an eye on it, but you will be allowed to...
What, don't want to sit with me?
No, I'm sitting across
Wait,
from you.
hold on, let me find.
It's better.
I'm teasing. Relax.
Alright.
This person, what weapon do they have?
He has a
I'm gonna
Gauss
go for a
rifle.
quick piss.
Gosh.
If you guys have
I'm
ever
going to-
seen Eraser, the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie from, I think, 91 or 92, great movie, watch it, but it's basically that. It uses magnetized accelerated coils to launch
going to
a piece of
pencil
steel
him.
at a high caliber.
Yeah, I know what a railgun is. Also, don't they use tungsten or ferrite for that? Anyway, I'm going to ask him, does that come in just that form? Or do you guys by chance have a version of a minigun?
He says, no, we do not have a minigun version of this technology.
I'm
Damn
just
it.
gonna giggle.
I've been trying to sit here and learn how to use a minigun on the gigantic fucking mech back there, and it's been difficult to say the least.
He says, well, that kind of sucks to be you. Too bad you didn't have to know how to make one of these.
No. You know, well, I mean, I doubt knowing how to make one of those would help. Would it?
He says,
don't
well,
think
it
so.
helped me when I made it. And no one touches my baby but me.
Well, I'm not wanting to touch it.
Is that a minigun or is it closer to
It's
a
a-
rifle?
It is a rifle. Like I said, I'll see if I can find an image of it. Just give me 2 ticks.
I'm not wanting to touch your gun. I was just curious as if it came in the form of said like a minigun.
How
I've
much?
been
How
looking
much?
to-
How much shit would I get into if I tried to touch his gun?
Probably don't do that.
Well,
I'm asking Lavis.
well, that is a question for basically your future self.
Huh?
That is a question for your future self will answer when you try and touch it.
I don't suggest that.
I'm gonna touch it.
Please don't.
I'm gonna just kind of go over there and take a look at it and admire it because it's a rifle. It's a nice rifle.
Yeah, and you are. Please don't, Sid.
Okay,
Please.
I'm going to
Oh,
copy
no,
the
no.
images and I'm going to put them in the Discord. There's
Okay.
2 images. That's the first one.
No, this is out of character and also a little bit nitpicky, but technically what you've described is a coil gun, not a rail gun. Not much different.
Either
but
way, it's a rifle.
And that's it. That is what it looks like.
I'm
It
going
looks
to ask
somewhat
him if these
hodgepodge,
sites-
but you can tell that it is extremely dangerous.
I'm going
It's
to
a
ask him if
rifle.
he-
I want to take a look at it.
I'm going to ask if the rifle sights are integrated or are they detachable and interchangeable.
Integrated.
Can,
Ah,
can,
damn.
can I?
All
Can I
right.
take a look?
He says the sights
I
are actually of
have-
my own design. They can see through walls. I could literally hit somebody
Really?
on the other standing outside of this asteroid if I wanted to. Spot their heart and,
I'm a-
and
How do you
pinpoint it straight through.
How do you
I'm
manage
a-
that without sitting there and accidentally depressurizing the asteroid?
Well, that is why I haven't shot you yet. But trust me, if I shoot you, I'll be shooting towards your ship as well.
Hey man, I am not looking
I'm
to
gonna
start trouble.
ask
I'm just
how
curious.
he. I'm gonna ask how you did that and bring up the fact that I mod as well.
Yeah, I am curious about that. Is it some sort of radiation emitter that allows you to trace it?
He says, I'm really not going to go into massive details about my baby.
Fair enough.
Wait, I've gone and retrieved my dick.
I'm just curious about how it works in general, because it looks like an amazing technology.
He says it certainly is.
But
What's the maximum range on that, if I may ask, or do you know?
He says, depending on gravitational shift and magnetism, all that kind of stuff, you know, curvature, gravity, I can shoot something up to 20 kilometers before the round dissipates.
what has
About
been your
accuracy,
longest shot?
does it lessen the further it goes?
Yes, it can actually shoot through 15 meters of solid steel.
Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, sorry, you cut out there, Sid. What did you say?
Yeah,
Never mind.
I say it.
you're just really quiet, Sid.
Yeah, I've got you maxed out and I can
I-
barely hear you. Can you crank out
I
your
don't
output?
have. I don't know what's going on. Maybe okay. Let me try something.
Crank up your sensitivity by like 10% and your output by double.
Oh no, my
You're,
sensitivity is at max.
Then crank up your output by about 12%. Not that much.
How's this?
No, that's way too much.
Bad.
I said maybe about 15%.
How about this?
Perfect.
Better.
I can hear you a lot better
Okay.
now.
Yeah, it was but it wasn't Discord at all. It was my computer.
Ah.
I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I've actually got to go for a piss as well. But basically,
I was
if
gonna ask
you
him one more
look at the
question.
GIF that I just posted, if it will actually show, that's basically what.
Well, you posted the Google link.
Yeah, but it will link to it.
That. Right, but that.
Actually, that's not a very good version of it. Either way, watch
I
the
will ask
movie
him one more
Eraser.
question
That's
before
kind of
you
like
go.
where the gun is, but kind of souped up to the nth degree.
I will ask him one more question before you go.
Alrighty.
What was I gonna ask now? The recoil on it. How bad is that?
He says next to nothing.
Really?
It's
How
all
did you do
fired
the
by
counterbalance?
magnetism, not explosion. So therefore it fires
Yeah,
via
but-
electrical current.
Right, but there should be still a certain amount of recoil from the discharge.
He's like, that's the point of the compensators.
The compensator must be extremely well. You did
It
a lot
is.
of good work on it.
Oh yeah. Once you start customizing your weapons, the sky's the limit. All you got to do is know your tech and know how to use it.
Yeah, I've been trying to learn the sort of minigun manual, and now that you say it, I'm thinking about maybe trying to make one of my own if I ever get the ability to. Because that sounds like, if you can customize it to that degree, it sounds like the minigun, at least for the mech, would be extremely useful.
Oh yeah, but question is, do you have enough power to run it? This thing uses a lot of power.
Oh yeah, no, I can imagine. It would probably not be to the same degree as that. I'm not sure I would even make it a railgun, but you do bring up some very good points that could work on other weapon platforms as well. Like the sort of integrated sight system. That sounds like a neat idea. If I look into that, that may be able to assist a lot with the sort of conflicts we go into.
Well, he says,
if I can
like
try
my grandfather used to say, and actually it's something that my grandfather used to say, you only need 2 bullets, and you only need a spare one just in case you miss the first.
Yeah, I'm going for more of a minigun type setup instead of a sort of something more rifle-like, at least myself personally, because I'm choosing to be more of a... I'm trying to be more of a grounded person in the mech, be able to sit there and cover an area, because a lot of the times, generally speaking, we go against the aliens a lot, at least for us, and they tend to cluster up. So I feel like the minigun would be the best bet for those kinds of areas.
Can I see if he'll let me look down his scope?
Roll us a d20 plus communications -4.
-4?
4.
Yeah, it's a no-go.
Yeah, he says, no, stay away from my baby.
Yeah.
If you want one,
If
get the expertise and make one yourself.
I'm working on it.
If I may ask, though, the sort of scope thing, you don't have to go into too much detail, but I am wondering how you managed to go through, how you managed to adjust that distance. Or is it like the round itself can be accurate up to 20 kilometers, but the scope can't zoom thermal and x-ray that much?
The scope actually works by opening up layers. It can see through basically anything within reason. And it actually adjusts itself in its X-ray, or not really X-ray. X-ray is primitive tech, but it's a very similar style to X-ray. Like you can choose it to filter out certain objects or materials. So, for example, he could
So
set
the
it to
scope is-
look through steel, and it basically phase like steel will basically become transparent through the scope. So you'll be able to see anything in there besides the steel. And then you adjust it for, say, stone, and it will see through
So
the
the
stone,
scope-
and it will spot stuff on the opposite side that isn't stone.
So the scope
Labatura.
itself isn't telescopic, but it's more of a digital reflection of what the laser is seeing.
It's multi variant tech, so it's got different variants in it. So it can kind of flick between standard magnification, X-ray, thermal. It's got a bunch of settings, and he just kind of clicks it to whatever he wants, and it automatically if you actually roll us a detect d20 plus targeting.
Me?
Anybody who wants to look at the gun.
Well, I was just asking him to make conversation.
I'll take a look. It's 14.
You notice that
I
the
guess
gun
I'll
actually
roll.
has a cord running from its side that's jacked into his personal suit, and the cord seems to go up into his visor.
Oh,
Okay.
so it's essentially like how not Halo does it, but I'm trying to remember. The alien smart gun. How it essentially hooks up to their actual, little heads-up display.
Yeah, think of it kind of like the smart gun from Aliens.
That's what I was referencing.
No, you said Halo.
No, I said originally. Oh, well, it's not like Halo, but like that smart gun from Aliens that freaking pops up on their like little HUD, through their like little eyepiece.
Yeah, basically, you assume that it connects to his helmet in some way, but you can't tell the type of interface that it is. But you do assume that whatever the gun sees, he always also sees as well. So you could actually fire it without having to look down it.
That's got to be annoying at times, though, if it's constantly on. Like if it's hardwired in.
It probably would be, yeah. It'd be like having one eye, constantly having a TV screen in one eye almost.
Yeah. Well, it's still amazing technology, and I'm surprised you were able to make it with limited tech. Or not limited tech, but limited resources.
He
or
says,
did you make
I made it back on the home planet.
I see.
And you see a bit of sadness in his voice.
Oh.
I am sorry for your loss. I'm...
Alright,
I know
Kamiko.
it probably won't... No.
The commander is going to lead the way, along with Alistair.
Okay, I'm going to just pat my little drone and go, this is Midik. He is best boy.
Alright.
Incidentally, that's how you pronounce medic in Ukrainian, by the way. Yes, that is...
Stop putting it upside down. It sits like that.
Okay, well, anyway, his name is just medic, translated to Ukrainian, which is pronounced Midik.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, let's...
You walk up to the thing and a door automatically opens. This door seems to be a lot better, more responsive than the previous door. That required a firm kick. Okay. You start hearing a watery sound, and you start smelling plants.
Can I roll an observation?
Yes, D20 plus targeting.
Alright, 10.
Okay. All of a sudden, you look and you see almost a stone area, and there appear to be a lot of plants growing in here.
Okay.
There appears to be a woman tending the plants. And I'll just move these here, up here. Okay. And another door opens up. Okay. This is going to be a pain in the ass. Okay, I'm just going to reveal a bunch of the maps so then I don't have to... thing.
Can I talk to the medic woman?
Sure.
Or the woman? Your commander said that you guys needed someone who had medical knowledge, right?
So
Are you some
yes,
sort of
you can
researcher?
never go without more medical knowledge.
Are you some sort of researcher, or are you just a doctor?
I'm a doctor who also specializes in cryogenics.
Ah, that explains why you have so much cryogenics knowledge. Well, the ship that we came in here on had a cryogenic storage that we were ejected out of during a pseudo-emergency ejection because our ship was attacked by something. We think a
We hit
meteor.
an asteroid.
Yeah.
That was an attack.
I thought it was a meteor storm.
No,
Yeah,
you guys,
that's not an attack.
you hit a meteorite during that stumbled into a warp rift that you guys were currently traveling through.
Okay. Well, we were forced out of a hibernation because of that. Well, it wasn't easy, but we repaired the damage. Since you are good with cryogenics, would you know if there's any sort of side effects from being emergency woken or not?
She says, I'm not familiar with your types of technology, I only know our technology.
Yeah, that is a fair point. I just wasn't sure if you would by chance know.
And your stuff is
Alright.
more suspended animation, a bit like what you see in Aliens. Or Alien, I
Oh.
should say.
Well, again, this would be information I would not know because I am not a technical person.
Yeah, that's why I was
Anyway.
giving you that information. You'd know the basics of hibernation, sleep.
Alright. Let's take a look at this power relay.
So you enter
And
in,
generator.
and there is quite a lot of mechanical machines in here. There appears to be a large battery back here, an inlet power system converter that is in front of you there, some more relays, and then there appears to be something here that appears to be pumping out an extreme amount of energy.
So I'm supposed to take a look at these things?
Yes, you can have a look at them and see if you can find ways to improve them if need be, but I'm going to go for that piss that I had to put off. Be right back.
Alright.
How are you holding up, Sydney?
I'm good.
Does the bird need a poker? Go poke.
Huh?
Does the burb need me to poke her?
No.
Does the burb want me to poke her?
Oh.
Does the burb want a hug?
Ow.
Uh, Hey, Kamiko.
Mm-hmm.
Check your Discord for a sec. I'm sending you something.
I like this meme. This is my...
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Alright, Kamiko, first roll is a D20 plus tech to see if you can understand any of this.
Alright. 11.
You have a rough idea of how this tech works. You can't really figure out how to improve it because basically, in a sense, this is kind of like if you were playing a game where you had like two branching technologies, and basically they've taken an opposite route compared to what you guys did probably about 500 years ago. So you can kind of figure out, you know, this is how the energy goes in, this is the converter of the energy, and then it goes there, but you're not exactly sure about how the tech actually achieves this. So this is quite alien to you, but you can understand the basics. Like, if you picked up a gun, you'd be like, okay, yep, this is how I load it, this is how I put the shell in, this is how I fire it. But how the actual trigger mechanisms and all that, that's a mystery to you.
Yeah, and I'll explain that I have a rough idea of what it is and does, but I'm not well enough acquainted with it to be able to give any suggestions as to how to improve it. And I'll apologize. I'm afraid I can't really improve on this. Sorry.
Yep. No, that's... She says, no, that's fine. Like I said, we've got enough power for the time being.
Yeah.
And we're just lucky that we're still within the sun's gravity so that we'll actually get a decent amount of energy from it.
Yeah. In that case, I'll return my dick to the ship.
Alright.
Now, you said something about needing medical assistance?
Yes. Let me just... I'm just going to drag you down to the area and then reveal the map.
How long are we here for?
That is up to use. Eventually, the captain ends up staying in the room where you guys, the other guys are.
Captain?
Well, the commander.
Oh,
Commander.
Commander.
Oh,
Commander
hi,
Catherine.
Commander.
And she nods to Meryl. And then you proceed to walk south. And small medical room down to the south is where she guides you.
Okay.
Alright.
I'll follow her.
I don't think you're supposed to. Are you? Because I think it was
The captain doesn't. The commander doesn't stop you. All you have to do is
Okay.
how do you ask to go?
Sure. Sure, I'll ask if I can follow her.
She says, "Sure, just don't make any trouble."
Okay, I will.
She also says, "Don't touch the sage without permission."
Okay.
So, Commander, if I may ask,
She's like, "Yeah, what do you want?"
how sustainable is this entire setup long-term wise?
Long-term wise, it can sustain us for several hundred years if need be.
Okay,
If it's running at peak efficiency, of course.
makes sense. Do you have any sort of defense against any sort of like meteor shower or such with your solar panels?
Yes, we have shielding. Obviously, you would have seen that around the actual asteroid itself. The shielding is designed to actually pierce through the asteroid and prevent any further damage to the actual structure. So when the planet exploded, this perfect sphere of an asteroid was actually launched out as a safety lifeboat.
Huh.
Well, I was just
That's
wondering
cool.
because you guys do have limited space here. So, I was wondering because it does not seem like this is sustainable in the long term if you guys are to sort of repopulate and such.
She says much of our population is currently in cryogenics. We are the caretakers of those people.
Oh, I see. So there's more to the station than this is just a surface level. There's sub-levels for maintenance and such of the cryotubes. Okay. Have you guys...
Yes, further within the asteroid there is much of our people who we are pledged to defend with our lives.
Makes sense. And don't worry, I'm not trying to pry information out of you. If you don't want to answer a question, you don't have to.
So don't worry, I won't give you any information that I don't want you having.
Have you guys thought about long-term habitable planets nearby, possibly?
She says that will be up to what happens with the prophecy.
Well, let's assume, and I mean no disrespect when I say this, but assuming the worst, what will happen?
Well, the cryogenics will continue to stay there into... If we manage to die out like the caretakers, the station will continue to preserve them for as long as possible.
I see.
But the prophecies have foretold that our saviors will lead us to our promised planet, our promised land.
Again, I'm not meaning any disrespect to your religion. I was just wondering if you had a backup.
Or no, Greymane. Just stop.
What? I'm asking logical questions.
Yes,
It says,
but
do not question the, what's it called?
prophecy?
Yeah, do not question the wisdom of our sages.
I'm not questioning them. I think that if you have a faith in your sages, that they will do great things.
She says, I will not handle any more blasphemy on my ship.
I apologize. I was not trying to blaspheme against you. I am not
Commander?
knowledgeable.
She says, she turns to the bird, quite happily to talk to somebody else, and she says, yes. What can we do? What can I do for you, Feathery One?
You said there's only one sage left on the ship, correct?
Yes.
Is there any way you could show me to him? Just so I can see what they are.
Yes, he's currently in the medical room, where your friend and Dr. Merrill has entered. Scroll
if
down directly
so-
south.
I'm gonna ask her if she'd be willing to take me with her down there.
She actually presses a button on her wrist, and Alistair comes back up and he's like, I'll lead you to her.
Oh, thank you.
Out of character wise, I think it was Sid was trying to get the commander out of the room of me.
Yeah,
Anyway.
actually.
Mm.
Yep, actually,
So-
yeah, the commander will come along.
Alright.
All right.
Not my fault. I'm
Now-
fucking curious. Okay.
She also whispers in and taps a few buttons on her wrist as she leaves.
And the firing squad runs in.
It's terrible.
Anyway, now we're with this guy. All right.
You
I'm
see a
switching.
rather large bearded individual.
Okay.
He has two streaks through his long beard.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. So
Interesting. Hi, Tekla.
I ignore it. I ignore Sidron for the moment. I have a patient to tend to. Now, let's take a look at this man.
Alright, how do you intend to do that?
Well, first I'd like to get as much information on his status as possible from Merrill. Give him the sheet of intending to him.
Yep, she says, here's a digital read-up of his systems and how he's actually, like, how his body is currently running, including a mental scan.
Okay. And what does that tell us?
Roll me a d20 plus tech.
22.
Yep, you can tell that basically his alpha brain waves have almost completely gone numb. But his zeta brain waves appear to be extremely active.
Is there a way to bring him out of this?
She says no. His alpha and beta brain waves are almost non-existent. He's in a heavy coma.
All right.
Luckily,
now's
his
the
body
moment.
has been healed to mostly perfect form, but his mind is still extremely damaged.
Huh.
All right. Now's the moment of truth. Do I know any way to bring him out?
That is a good question. Roll us a d20 plus tech.
Plus tech. All right. 14.
Yep, no, you can't really tell because his brain waves are abnormal to. It's almost like his brain is made up of something completely foreign to compared to a normal human or even a demi-human race brain. Particularly that the zeta brain waves are normally non-existent within most sentient races, but this is abnormally high. Like, we're talking, like, say the base rate was 1, this would be close to, like, 10,000.
Like midichlorians.
In a sense, kinda, yeah.
Okay. So now, what? If he's not? If there's nothing I can do for that, then yeah. But what of him is there still to heal?
His brain
Okay.
is showing almost no activity. Other than the zeta brainwaves, like the alpha and the beta brainwaves, which are normally, say, running at a level of 100, they're running at about 3 to 5%.
Can AIDS come up with a solution?
You could probably plug AIDS into their medical tech, but the question is, would you be allowed to?
Yes, that's a good one.
Never hurts to ask.
Actually, can I plug myself into the medical tech?
What part of you?
The arms?
No, your arm is more of like a hacking module, as opposed to, like you can basically like part your fingers and type really fast and stuff like that. But they really don't hack like they're not really like an AI guided tech. Unless you want to get an AI implanted into your brain.
I have a suspicion that would be illegal, but yeah. Now, in that case, I'll go, off the top of my head, I can't think of anything, but we do have an AI on our ship that might be able to assist if we were allowed to plug him into your tech.
She's like, if you allow me to analyze this AI independently and study it for a short time, I may allow you to plug it in.
I don't think AIDS would be against being checked, would he?
Well, let's just see if he would allow his protocols to allow it.
Oof.
No, AIDS will not allow to plug into foreign tech without appropriate Federation protocols being implemented.
Okay. I believe, I'm guessing he's told me this then through the comms.
Yes.
Then I'll relay that to Meryl.
Yep.
Well, sorry. In that case, seems that the AI doesn't want to. So. But if you do come up with any ideas, then I would be happy to be of assistance.
She's like, very well, if anything comes awry and you're around, I'll let you know.
Humans are my primary interest in preservation.
She says, likewise.
Well then, is there anything physical I can do with this guy that, or
No, she seems adamant about you not touching him.
Okay then. So he's their version of an elder, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's understandable.
Well, think of it more like he's a high priest.
Actually, how efficiently is their medical tech running?
Roll us a d20 plus targeting.
Plus targeting?
Yes, it'll be observation.
Alright, 15.
Yeah, their medical tech is pretty much on par with Federation tech. Primitive in certain areas, but more advanced in other areas.
Can I improve them in the primitive spots, or
maybe roll us a d20 plus tech.
13?
Yeah, you may be able to. You might be able to up their their actual body sensors, but their brain scans seem to be far superior to the Federation tech.
Hmm.
But you notice they're still more or less using like stitches and staples and stuff like that to perform like fix broken bones and stuff, as opposed to the more nanite kind of technology that's used for emergencies in Federation technology. Like Federation,
Okay.
if you get like your body like ripped open or something, they'll basically close you up, inject you with nanites that will go through your body, repair it, and then the nanites get extracted shortly after.
Huh.
Okay. In that case,
But Federation tech has more that they don't like interfering with mental capabilities, so they generally don't like anything to be messed with the brain. Like they'll allow the brain to interface with technology, but generally the brain is always 100% in control. If they don't allow any technology to influence the brain itself.
can I get a? I kind of want to get a scan of my brain then to see what we can, if there's anything we can learn from that.
Yep, she's happy for you to actually have a quick scan of yourself. She points to the bed next to you, that one right there, and she
Alright.
says, "Hop on, and I'll give you a quick scan if you'd like."
Okay.
Roll me a standard D20.
4.
Okay. She says, didn't realise you're so mutated."
Mutated.
She says, "Yeah, your DNA and your brain waves are quite abnormal. Weird mutation. I'm guessing there's been some radiation damage in your gene pool for quite some time. That would explain the abnormal frontal lobe."
There's some minor. Well, from a. Yeah, there would be some minor. Some of that, yeah. Given that most of my ancestors lived around Chernobyl for a long time.
She says, "I don't know where that is, but obviously it must be abnormally radiated."
It used to be a nuclear reactor, and then it exploded.
Well, that explains, and she starts looking through your DNA. She's like, "Oh, that would explain why there's heavy mutation. Surprised you haven't sprouted a third arm out your ass."
Heavy mutation in what?
On your DNA.
But what part specifically?
Internal growth. She says there's high risk of cancer within your genetic strain, and yeah, she's like, doesn't look like your people have much longevity.
We live to be about 60, 70.
She's like, "Oh, you're basically an infant."
Okay. Okay. What do you mean? What do you mean an infant?
Uh-oh.
She says, "Well, our people are much longer lived."
How much?
She says, "Well, you wouldn't know it by looking at me, but I'm actually over 150 at the moment."
Okay.
Still cute. And yes, that's in character.
She's like, "Thank you, I take good care of myself."
Yes, you do.
Well, our lifespan is actually really abnormal for people living in Federation-controlled territory.
I would hope
But-
so. Huh. Oh, you'd probably only be able to master one skill in that amount of time before you're dead.
Oh,
If you're lucky.
I suppose I'm going to have to explain to her the deep lore. Oh boy. I suppose that is enough time to learn how to kill, yes?
Ah, that's an easy skill. Even a
You say
child could
that,
learn
but-
that.
Indeed. That is true. We do teach children that first, but it's very important that you understand tactics as well alongside your murder.
Mhm.
A blade without a hilt is fucking terrible. It's fucking worthless.
It's true. Anyway, she
But
said
yes.
she
That's
says
yeah.
that you can hop off the bed now, and she points to you sitting, and she's like, "Would you like to take a whirl on it?"
Yes, please.
Alrighty, roll me a d20.
Oh.
Okay. Her scans are having a bit of trouble trying to figure out what the hell you are because your biology and all that is very alien to these senses.
Dang it.
She says, very interesting. How would you like to make a deal with me?
If there's cash, yeah. Let's hear it.
She says, if I could get the legal rights to your body after you die, I could pay you in advance.
Why would you want the legal rights to me?
Well, you're very abnormal and I'd like to dissect you, but obviously I don't think you'd want me doing that while you're awake.
I would like to interject a little bit.
Let's hear what Tekla has to say.
What you do with the body is your own business, but the skull is mine.
She's like, no,
Damn it,
I
Tekla.
want to own I need to own the entire thing. Brain, body, feathers, the whole lot.
The brain, I can part with the brain.
The
There's no
skull's
need for-
included with the brain. I want the body as in full condition as possible.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to tacitly recommend against it. An improper burial ceremony is not a thing to take lightly.
So she turns to you, Sid, and she's like, well, what do you say?
Sure, why not?
She says, okay, very well, just give me a few moments, and she walks out the door. After about 15 minutes, she comes back. Oops.
Cute.
And she has a digital contract and a collar. She says,
I'm
merely
gonna-
sign here, place this collar on here, on yourself. The collar will then lock into place. Upon your death, your body will be transported here onto my into my operating room. Upon which I'll be able to do what I want to do.
All right. I'll clasp the collar on and go from there.
Okay, she places basically a tablet in front of you, and you need to basically place your handprint on it.
Okay. I'll do that then.
Okay, she says, very good. And she says, okay, what currency do you guys use again?
I have forgotten. Just credits, I think, right?
Federation credits. She says, do you guys use physical currency or transactions like that?
Not greatly. It's all mostly just credit chits.
She says, alright, let me just... She goes into another room and then she comes back a little bit later with an old chest. And she opens it up and there's a number of abnormal devices. Looking through it, eventually you spot a credit chip, which basically you plug it into your dog tags and then it registers how much credits. And she hands that to you and she says, there should be enough credits on here to say whatever you want.
Oh, okay.
So who would have thought I'd have to go to the museum to get a fresh body?
Oof.
Yep. Roll us a D20 plus communications. Tekla and Sydney.
I rolled a
Okay.
13.
Okay.
16.
Yep, you hear and she's like, well, at least I got something out of this. And you hear her skipping merrily down the hallway.
Sorry, you cut out for that? What
She
did she
says,
say?
at least I got something out of this. And then skips merrily down the hallway.
Oof.
Do they have smelling salts?
No.
Do we have smelling salts?
No.
Hmm.
Actually, roll me targeting. The two of yous.
Both of us? Okay.
Yes.
5.
Okay. And
11.
11? Okay. Yeah, you realise that whenever she was moving around, Alistair was not trying to make it seem obvious, but he was certainly giving her a wide berth.
Oh, okay. She's that kind of doctor.
Yeah. If any of you have seen Demon Lord Retry, she's a bit like that doctor.
Ah.
But without the ladyboy fetish.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
Well, either way, Sid, now put on your character sheet that you're now currently wearing a teleportation collar that will activate upon your death.
A what? Teleportation collar?
Yes, a teleportation collar. It is constantly reading your biosig levels. So the moment you die, you'll be teleported to this location.
Okay. Hmm.
Okay, and then the commander comes in and she says, okay, if you guys are done, could we leave the sage to rest?
Okay, in that case, would I be permitted to pray? To do a quick prayer?
She looks confused, but she says, well, do whatever you want. Just don't touch the sage.
Very well. In that case, then I'll have a quick little sit down on the floor, cross-legged all like, and just quietly sit there with the eyes closed for a little bit.
Yep, after
then,
about a
yeah,
minute, she says, okay, get up, get out. Hurry up.
Yep. So, yep, that's that done.
Okay, while they're doing that, Shadow, what did you want to be doing? He's muted himself. He must have gone off somewhere.
No, I'm here. I just realized I was fucking talking to myself.
Ah.
Because apparently Discord does not have the same feature TeamSpeak does of telling you when you're fucking muted and talking to yourself.
It has a little icon.
Yeah, there's a little icon in the bottom right of your screen. It should glow green when you're talking. If you're muted, it will actually have a mute symbol.
I don't have one of those.
Well, it's standard Discord. It should actually, on the Discord button, on the bottom right, next to your clock.
Yeah, no, there's no button there.
Where if
I'm
you
not
click
seeing
the
it.
little arrow and you can drag it down.
Oh, I see. Okay. Not much to really do. I've already talked, and I'd rather not piss anyone off, so I guess I just sat there.
Alright, fair enough.
No one really wants to talk to me, and I'm not really that important, so...
Righty, well, the commander leads you back to the room. It's up here.
Okay, then. What's our next plan?
That's a good question. You're going to have to tell me what you plan on doing.
Well, in that case, I'll just have a seat and start doing some movement with my arms. Make sure that all the little bits and bobs that come out are still functioning normally.
Alright, roll us a d20 plus tech.
13.
Yep, everything seems to be running perfectly.
Excellent. Anyone else gonna do anything, or am I just going to be entertaining our hosts with my arm movements?
Well, we're all sitting here. I mean, I'd like to know more about the commander, but I feel like if I try to, I'll probably just piss her off.
You can attempt.
Yeah, you don't know until you try.
Alright, so... how do I do this?
Just ask her out.
I'm gonna be sitting on this side here. So, Commander, may I ask what your name is?
My name is Catherine.
That's a pretty name.
She says thank you.
You're welcome. How long have you been the commander of this lifeboat?
4 days.
You cut out there, Lavitz.
4 days.
What happened to the old commander?
I was given this command upon the activation of the lifeboat.
So this ship has only been active for 4 days?
Yes. The preparations took years, but I was the captain that was assigned here upon its activation.
Oh. Interesting. Well, It's at least, well, it seems you're running quite the fine ship so far.
She says, I would hope so. My people depend on me.
Well, it's good to see Commander taking a great leadership role.
She says, thank you very much.
Well, thank you for being quite the hostess to us.
You're welcome. Now, and after a bit, Alistair comes up and he plumps some 4 large beacons on top of the table.
All right.
Okay.
She says, if you're still interested in finding our other lifeboats, you're welcome to try, but these are all the beacons we can spare.
Well, I mean, it never hurts to try, right?
She says, yes, if you can't find them, please return them.
We will.
She says, very well. And she
Fuck,
gives
I should
you
have
3 a
asked that
salute.
doctor.
And she says, well, off you go, and gives you a salute.
Alright, I salute back.
I grab the beacons, give her a nod with my hands full, and just walk out.
I'm gonna follow Tekla.
Okay.
Yeah, I walk the beacons in, I get in my mech, and then I bring Midak and my mech back in.
Okay. Alistair and Sliplin follow you. And you guys re-enter your ship.
Okay. Now, the question is, how do we go about this?
About what?
Finding these other guys.
Well, we do our best with the signals, have aids boosted up, and go from there.
Just deleting a couple things. Alright, you are back on your ship.
Okay. I will inform the commander of our exploits. And our current situation.
Yeah,
I'm
the
just gonna-
captain doesn't actually want to talk at the moment. He's currently in his room with a massive headache.
Hmm. Would he be interested in doing something else?
No, he's actually got a sign on his door saying, do not disturb.
Alright, then in that case, I'll take a look at the beacons and see how we can integrate them into our... fuck. No. What's our long-range scan? Again?
Long range,
D20 plus tech?
just a standard D20.
Okay. No tech roll?
No tech roll.
18. Do we find anything?
You find a very densely packed asteroid field.
I mean, do we find anything similar to what we're trying to look for, Lavitz?
No, these kind of signals are extremely weak. You have to be
Okay.
extremely close because they're basically broadcasting at standard radio waves, and they don't go very far. Especially with the background radiation and just standard like interference from the newly caught out planet.
Okay.
Now these you can plug them in and have a look at them.
Alright, yeah, I'll do that. That's D20 plus tech.
Yes.
17.
Okay, after analysing these, you realise that these are one-to-one communication devices. So basically, one person can talk to somebody pretty much over a near infinite distance with it. However, it is point to point, so there can only be one of them, one to point. So A and B. There's no, like, you can't connect to it via C or by E or anything like that.
Okay.
It's kind of like a telephone that only holds one number. It could dial one number.
I'll be right back.
No problem. Buddy, reactor, bo. Okay, is there anything you want to do on the ship, Kamiko, or Shadow? Yeah,
I don't
everybody's...
really have anything I want to do besides sit there and read my manual more.
Yep, no problem.
One D20.
Yep. Yep, you do reasonably well. You get, what's your, level?
I'm back.
Welcome back.
You
Kamiko's
said
had
it
to
was
go muted
0.5
again.
for a successful, 1 for a natural 20.
Yep, then put, you're now
I have
on one
one.
on heavy weapons training. Congratulations. Okay, Sid, what would you like to be doing on the ship?
I'm just gonna go to my room and work on some mods, I guess.
Alright, no problem. Roll us a d20 to see how well you go.
Is it plus anything?
Depends. If you're training, no. If it's making mods, then you add your tech, then your mod.
Tech is plus nothing. Mod is... What was mod at? Mod's at 2.5.
So if you're trying to make mods, you can use your mod skill. If you're just trying to train in mods, it's just a standard d20.
Okay, so it'd be plus 2 then, right? If I was creating mods?
Yes. It rounds down. What kind of mod are you trying to do, first of all?
Well, I was kind of... That's what I'm looking for. Influenced by the guy's scope mod. And I'd like to try and see if I could replicate something like that.
Alrighty. Roll us a d20 to see how you go. And how many parts are you planning to use?
How many parts do I have left? I have 2 spare parts.
Yep,
So-
you'll use those parts and a power cell to make
Okay.
it. And yes, you'll now be able to see through around a meter of solid material. You'll have a -3 to hit on just standard. No, I'm going to say a -4 to hit. But you will be able to shoot through a wall and actually see through a wall to a degree, as long as you know what that wall consists of. So say the wall is steel, you can attune it to steel and then see through it to a degree.
Okay, cool.
Obviously it doesn't have a great range, but it will see through a reasonable amount of material.
Sounds good.
Yep. Congratulations. You now have an X-ray scope.
Alright, that's under my class, and I'll create the tokens.
It will
for
also
that.
take 1 turn to attune the scope.
Okay.
Alrighty, so your current mission that I think you guys are wanting to do is basically search for the other lifeboats, basically. You can either do that now, or we can save that for next week.
I think maybe we should save it for next week.
Alrighty. Because Kamiko is currently muted because he has to... Oh,
No, he's
now
not.
muted. Well, he was muted.
So, is it possible to try and sort of triangulate where the other ones went?
Not really. You'll basically just have to search the asteroid field and see if you get lucky. Because you basically have to be within around 100 to 200 meters of each settlement before you can actually find it.
And then, second question: what's the full extent of their brain tech?
Their what?
Their brain scanning technology. Can they have? Can they sort of have like 2 people in at once to sort of interact with each other?
Not that you're aware of. You probably could have asked Dr. Merrill, but she's currently not on your ship.
In that case, I'd like to go back and ask.
Yeah, they're not letting you back.
All right. Well,
Unless we find another lifeboat.
in that case, I guess we'll just start on heading out.
Alrighty, well, we'll leave it there and end it for this week.
Actually, one thing I do want to do is the tractor still active on the ship we're looking for?
No, the tracker was ejected once it got here. It was,
Okay.
if you remember correctly, it was cut out of the other ship, and it was floating roughly around where you guys entered the area.
Oh,
Because the
Alright,
warp tunnel opened up very
what it-
close to where the tracker was. Because that was the exact location in space. There's only about half a kilometer drift, basically, in difference, and that's like stellar drift.
okay. In that case, I guess that's that.
Alrighty. Alright, so we'll end it here, and Kamiko, I'll probably talk to you and Sid tomorrow.